Hey everyone, the art of gaming here. Doing a little checkout today of some new things that I got in. Some of my good friends over at Wizkids sent me some miniatures to use in my YouTube series. If you go to the UpUpDownDown channel, you can check out Rollout. We just filmed season 2 a few weeks ago. Should be coming out in February. And until that happens, I got some of these new minis of the Icons of the Realm Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica minis that I thought were pretty awesome, and I thought I'd let you guys check them out. So here we have some of the Icon of the Realms, Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica minis by Wizkids Games. A couple things I think that they did really good. The sculpts are really nice. If you take a look here, I think they look pretty fantastic. I like these guys here. They are the fungus drudge, which, you know, I know one thing for me, I tend to not have fungal type creatures when I'm playing games. Treants, I have like one treant. I have a couple of other things like that, but not anything small like this that I can use for various plant creatures if I need to. I think one of the things WizKids has been doing a lot lately that is fantastic is they're really making some good, interesting minis that could be used for players. I love these guys. They're becoming more and more interesting looking. Like, I feel like in the past, miniatures in general have leaned so heavily towards the monsters that you didn't get to see cool minis that one could pick up and use if they wanted to use them for their players. And if you take a look, there's some small guys here too that were pretty interesting looking. I was a big fan of some of the weird little creatures that they have in here. This guy here is a Zorius homunculus, which, hey, that'd be pretty great to use if you have a wizard, maybe has a familiar that he wants to have. It'd be a good one to have to follow your character around. All sorts of interesting, again, here's another interesting character. Something else WizKids has been doing a lot with their past couple sets is having miniatures that aren't necessarily combat, they're NPCs. And so some of these miniatures are really great to have, you know, thrown around in a bar. You could certainly see this person here as like a noble, maybe having a toast at a party, which is pretty interesting. You do have, of course, some good combat guys, though. Maybe this guy could be a gladiator of some sort. He's actually a Gruul Anarch, but could be some sort of gladiator. It looks like a pretty interesting guy. Mohawk, some spikes. Might even be good for a character mini if you wanted to design something around it. Some good looking minis with clear pieces on them. You know, this nice staff with some clear on top, which I think always looks great. Makes the minis look more interesting to me. This guy here with maybe some sort of fiery sword. Again, another NPC. You know, well, maybe not so much of an NPC unless maybe you're running a Halloween game or Curse of Strahd or something. But that's kind of interesting there. Some good mounted options. Got this woman over here riding on a direwolf, which is pretty great. They have some bigger sculpts, of course. You know, each box comes with one big sculpt and three little sculpts. I got this guy here. Pretty rockin' looking, I think. I'm really liking how we're getting some nice bases for the creatures to be on so they're not breaking, and they use the clear plastic for them, so it really does give more of an illusion that the creature's flying. This sculpt right here I thought was pretty awesome. This is a Arclight Phoenix, and again, I love the translucent plastic. I love just the way it looks in general. The sculpt is very detailed. You see some of the detail in the wings and such. Looks like it's got some sort of energy coming off the back of it. Could be, you know, fire and any various things. Some of the smaller guys over here, I like this one here. Some sort of like death angel maybe. It's a pretty fantastic sculpt. You got yourself a vampire here. Maybe if you're playing in a Curse of Strahd game and you need some sort of mini for your vampires or just a master vampire in general, just to kind of show off in your game. And these guys look really great if we take some of these and put them over. I got a little Dwarvenforge terrain set up here. My friends over at Dwarvenforge were also very nice to send me terrain to use on Rollout Season 2. And so I got some little Dwarvenforge terrain set up. If you see, these guys add really greatly to the terrain and really show off how cool they look. Really adds some great detail to your game. Really makes it much more visual if you happen to be someone who needs visualization. If you're especially if you have little kids that are playing with you. I know my son started playing when he was 6 and he had a hard time visualizing where things were. He's 16 now, so he's been playing for a while, but he had a hard time visualizing where monsters were on the board. And I find that new players in general just have that problem. They have a hard time visualizing the dungeon and where the monsters are and whether they can move to them and attack them. So using things like this amazing Dwarvenforge terrain with your Wizkids minis can certainly help to show off your game and enhance it and make it even better. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to follow me on Instagram, the Arthur of Gaming, and to also go to www.wizkids.com to check out some of the minis that I've shown here, and www.dwarvenforge.com for some awesome terrain like I had on this video. Take care.